Hello student, today I am going to start a new topic of semantic data control, and that topic is data security. Data security is an important function of a database system that protect data against unauthorized access. Data security include two aspects. Number one, data protection. Number two, authorization control. So we will discuss first what is data protection, how we protect data. Data protection is required to prevent unauthorized user from understanding the physical content of data. This function is typically provided by file system in the context of centralized and distributed operating system. The main data protection approach is data encryption. Which is useful both for information stored on the disk and for information exchange on a network. Encrypted, as you know, encoded terms. Encrypted data can be decrypted, that is decoded, only by authorized user who know the code. You know the terms encrypted, that is encoded, and decrypted, that means decoded. So it is only authorized user who know the code. That person should be decrypted. The two main scheme are the data encryption standard and the public key encryption scheme. In this, we concentrate on the second aspect of data security, which is more specific to database system. Authorization control must guarantee that only authorized user perform operation they are allowed to perform on the database. Many different users may have access to a large collection of data under the control of a single centralized or distributed system. The centralized or distributed system TBMS must thus be able to restrict the access of a subset of the database to a subset of the user. Now, authorization control in database system differ in several aspects from that in traditional file system. Authorization must be refined so that different users have different right on the same database object. This requirement implies the ability to specify subset of object more precisely than by name and to distinguish between group of user. Centralized authorization control. Here, the three main actors involved in authorization control: the user who trigger the execution of application program, the operation which are embedded in application program, and the database object on which the operation are performed. So these are the main three actors: the user, operation, and database object, which has different work. Authorization control consists of checking whether a given triple triple, that means user, operation and an object, can be allowed to proceed. An authorization can be viewed as triple, which specifies that the user has the right to perform an operation of the operation type on a object. To control authorization properly, the DBMS require user, object and right to be defined. The introduction of a user, that means a person or a group of person, in the system is typically done by a pair, means username and password. The username uniquely identifies the user of that name in the system, while the password known only to the user of that name authenticate the users. Both the username and password must be supplied in order to log in the system. This prevents people who do not know the password from entering the system with only the username. The object to protect are subset of the database. Relational system provide finer and more general protection granularity than do earlier systems. In an SQL based relational DBMS, an operation is a high level statement such as select, insert, update or delete, and write are defined, which is granted or revoked. As you know, it's a very important commands of SQL, which gives the permission or remove the permissions. Using the following statement: grant operation type on object to user, revoke operation type from object to user. It gives the permission, revoke the permission. The keyword public can be used to mean all the user. The authorization control can be characterized based on who, grantor, can grant the rights. In its simplest form, the control is centralized, a single user or user class. The database administrator has all privilege on the database object and is only one allowed to use the grant and revoke statement. With example, grant, create any index to report, revoke all the privilege from report. First give the permission, second receive all the permission. Grant select on EMP to Tom. Typically, the creator of object gets all the permission, might have the permission to grant permission. This required a recursive revoke process. They show Oracle offers about 200 privilege: create session, execute any operator, create table may, it execute any procedure, create any index. It gives different types of privilege which is given by Oracle. Here the privilege, this diagram show the example of authorization matrix. Privilege is stored in the directory catalog conceptually as matrix. The privilege of the subject over the object are recorded in the catalog, which is directory, as authorization rules. There are several ways to store the authorization. The most convenient approach is to consider all the privilege as an authorization matrix in which a row defines a subject, a column an object, and a matrix entry the, the authorized operation. The authorized operation are specified by their operation type, like select or update. It is also customary to associate with the operation type a predicate that further restrict access to the object. Rules can be used to group privilege. Now, distributed authorization control. Here, in distributed authorization control, the additional problem of authorization control in a distributed environment stem from the fact that object and subject are distributed. These problems are: number one, remote user authentication; number two, management of distributed authorization; rules, as well as handling of view and of user group. So these are the three uh, problems. Now, remote user authentication is necessary since any site of distributed DBMS may accept program initiated and authorized at remote site. To prevent remote access by unauthorized user, that is, for example, from a site that is not part of the distributed DBMS, user must also be identified and authenticated at the access site. The two solutions are possible in this case. Number one, the information for authentication user, that is username password, is replicated at all sites in the catalog. Local program initiated at a remote site must also indicate the username and the password. Number two, all sites of the distributed DBMS identify and authenticate themselves similarly to the way user do. Inter-site communication is thus protected by the use of the site password. Once the initiating site has been authenticated, there is no need for authenticated their remote user. Here the first solution is more costly in terms of directory management, given that the introduction of a new user is a distributed operation. However, the user can access the distributed database from any site. The second solution is necessary if user information is not replicated. Nevertheless, it can also be used if there is replications of the user information. In this case, it makes remote authentication more efficient. I hope you all understand what is data security, how it works. Thank you for watching my video lectures. Thank you.